Welcome back to the R-Rated Podcast. The R-Rated Podcast. This week's guest is...
Welcome back to the R-Rated Podcast. Today's new guest is Josue Mendez, and we actually met on the show. Well, actually, we met at American Gigolo, but we worked together on Fatal Attraction. You're my first Fatal Attraction guest.
Yeah.
Hopefully this isn't fatal. No pun intended. Lame. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I hate when I'm corny. I'm like, ugh. Okay. So anyway, we met on American Gigolo when I was shadowing for my new job.
Yeah. And
he was showing me around the Sony lot and kind of gave me the ins and outs of like what the fuck is going on in the industry.
Yeah, man.
How long have you been doing this? Like working in the industry?
So I think I'm gonna be about a year and some change now.
Nice.
I started doing, like PA stuff before, and then I got an opportunity to work on American Gigolo, which is where we met.
Right. Wait, how did you go from like working on other stuff to AG, like a studio production? Because like sometimes it's difficult to get in, especially if you don't have like years and years of experience.
Right. Yeah. No, I definitely think it's one of those like situations where it's like you have to know somebody, which, that's pretty much the entire industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so my, one of my best friends is actually a certified like pilot. And so as a side business, he does flight training.
Ooh, okay.
And one of his...
Pilot.
Yeah, right?
Okay, out here flying.
And one of his students happened to be the COVID manager.
Okay.
For
me?
For American Gigolo.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, hey, I need people. I'm looking out. And he told
Right.
my buddy, do you know anybody who has set experience or anything like that? And he was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, my boy knows set experience. So he connected me, and like maybe within like less than a week, I was on set.
Oh shit. Okay, so what did you think on your first big production? Like, were you nervous? Was it like similar to the other like sets that you worked on, or was it very different? Were people welcoming to you?
It was definitely a new experience, but not really.
Okay.
I think the size is what you notice first.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Sorry, that you set that one up. But yeah, no, I understand that. And but as a PA, what are the requirements? What are they asking you to do? Like, did you expect that kind of workload when you did American Gigolo? I
think so. I think just being a PA in general, you, especially when you're like really like throw yourself into PA life, set life and stuff like that, you learn to just like go above and beyond, and usually the first one's there, last one's to leave. Yeah. So it's like time doesn't exist for you, and
that sounds so sad when you say it.
It does. I think yesterday I was looking at like set life memes and stuff like that. Oh yeah,
those are hilarious.
And it
movie set humor. Follow it on Instagram. It's fucking funny.
it makes me laugh because it's like if you're not in the industry, you have no idea what we're talking about. Yeah, you're like,
why that doesn't seem horrible, because they see all these like red carpet events and like all the like glamorous shit,
right?
And then it's like, oh, they spend like millions of dollars on this project, and then it's like us in the like battlefield, like eye bags, like 6 coffees, like all sad.
And that's what it is.
But it's passion. We're doing it because we love it. Like I like to like sulk and like complain. I think it's funny, but in the end, like I do have a passion for this, so it doesn't seem. I don't know. It's not like miserable. Like the long hours are like. They're fucking crazy. But I think at the end of the day, there's going to be a reward for this hard work.
Oh, for sure.
So I think that's why we do it.
And you build like such a family with the people that...
You do.
Because you're literally working with people like 12-hour days or plus more for sometimes 5 to 6 days a week.
Yeah.
So you really get a bond with these people that like by the end of the show, when you're like wrapping everything up, you're like, damn, I'm gonna miss you guys.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking too? I was driving home from set, and I was like, damn, we really got friends that are like mid-50s and then like literally like barely of drinking age. You know what I mean? So I think it's like funny, like the range of like people you're around. It's a cool, unique experience because I'm like, not every job are you like hanging out with such a big difference like of age group, I guess.
Right.
But it's also, it's just like, I don't know. I think it builds like a sense of community in a way, like, because you're just like, yeah, we're in this together. Like,
yeah, definitely.
I guess like your department, not like everyone on set, but your department.
Yeah, really for sure. You'll definitely meet people, like especially people who started as PAs and then moved on.
Started from the bottom now.
Exactly. Like they know the struggle.
Exactly. So we met on American Gigolo, and then I really loved the way that Josue worked, and I was like, okay, we need someone like him on our team. So when Fatal Attraction started, like we were in pre-production, hit him up, and I was like, come join the team. He did, and yeah, now that was in May already. So now we're in October.
That's wild.
We have 3 weeks left until the show ends. So that's crazy because I remember when it started and we're like, oh, it's gonna be like 4 months until we're done. And like we were ordering all this like inventory stuff of like what we needed. And now it's like, hurry, we gotta get rid of the mask. Like,
yeah,
we have
so
like,
many. Push everything.
Like, you want a free mask? You get a free mask. Like all this shit. So it's been a journey. But yeah, I wanted to bring him on the podcast, and not because we work together, because we already talk about work all the fucking time. So I'm like, let's talk about something else, something fun, something spooky, something with the theme of Halloween. So first of all, Josue just mentioned to me that he is a ghost hunter. He literally went ghost hunting, which certified. I'm like, okay, first certified ghost hunter on the podcast. Please tell me obviously besides ghost hunting, tell us exactly like what you did and like how do you get certified? I
think certified is just kind of like something we say, but yeah, it's so a couple of my buddies and I, we're really into like horror and spooky stuff, and you know, obviously some of like favorite things to do is to watch people go ghost hunting, like on YouTube and stuff like that. So we were like, you know what? Let's try it out.
Oh my God.
We ended up searching up like most haunted places located in Simi Valley and stuff like that.
Which was what?
We found a park where people like late at night have said that there's like this like shadow figure that like sometimes you'll see in like this like wooded area of the park. Mm-hmm. Or some people see this like weird man sitting on a rock or something like that.
It's like a homeless man just trying to like fucking chill.
And so we were like, yeah, screw it, let's go. So we packed up our gear, we took all our stuff, we waited till it was like nighttime, and we parked maybe like, I don't know, like a block or two away from the park, because obviously the parking lot's closed. Walked in and just kind of walked around the park in the dark, kind of asking questions, doing like
what do you so you're asking the ghost questions?
Yeah. So it's like, you know, from everything we've seen, it's like, you know, you always have to be, you know, kind and courteous to the spirit world and stuff like that.
Okay.
So you're always asking permission for stuff, or if you want to make contact, you have to be very polite and ask them, you know, who are you? Right. Really kind of build this repertoire with what entity is there.
Right. Because you're like, is it like almost like you're opening a portal to like the other side?
Right. Yeah.
Is that how you would describe it? Or is that kind of like blown out of proportion in these TV shows, in these movies, like where it's like,
I think a bit of both.
Okay.
I think it really depends on where you are and what you believe in. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like I'm definitely a big believer. Especially in my household, we believe in like, you know, cleanses and stuff like that. Whereas some of my other friends aren't that, you know, aren't big believers. So to them, it's more of like, yeah, let's go, you know.
It's like fun. It's like a spook. Yeah. I think I'm 50-50. Like I believe certain things. Like I definitely believe in ghosts, but like I believe it's more of like an energy type of thing.
For sure.
I don't know if it's like literally like a ooh, like, you know, like like a ghost emoji. I don't know. I don't know if it's that. But I think like definitely something happens after we pass, and then it's like obviously the people that weren't good people in this like world or in this life, like they have to go somewhere too, right? Their souls. So it's like maybe it's like that fear of like opening up that portal of letting the bad energy come get you and follow you home or something like that.
Yeah, and I think that's what scares me.
That would scare me too. That would freak me out.
Is like it's cool to like go do this stuff, but for me as someone who's a big believer, I don't want to take it home with me.
Yeah.
So like I always carry around, you know, whatever it be, like some sort of protection, or I'll cleanse myself when we get home and stuff like that, just so that, you know, that stuff stays where it needs to stay.
Right. What about the Ouija board?
I won't touch it.
Okay, yeah, because I'm like, do you believe it? Like, do you believe that really is something that can open up or channel bad spirits?
You know, I think there's been enough evidence that it totally does. Whether you believe in this like spirit or like the afterlife or not, I definitely think the Ouija board is something that I will never mess around with, mostly because it's just scary, man.
It's just scary.
And a lot of the times it's like...
Have you seen the movie Ouija?
Yeah, right? And the sequel? Like,
yeah. And number 2.
Shout out.
Has anything ever happened to you specifically that has made you a believer?
To me? Oh, man. Let's see. I feel like I've had so many little interactions. Like, for example, back in the house that my parents, I guess they currently live in, when I lived there, when I was younger, I used to hear our cabinets downstairs like opening.
Oh my god! Okay.
Now it could be that like my dad was just really hungry late at night or something like that. But I swear,
every time at 3 a.m. exactly.
Yeah, because I would stay up late, so a lot of the times I would hear like the and I'm just like, those are our cabinets. I'm pretty sure those are our cabinets.
Oh my god.
Or like I hear footsteps. I would hear footsteps upstairs when I would be home alone and stuff like that.
I've heard footsteps too. There was one time I was living with my roommate in San Diego, and her room was like right next to the living room, and I was sitting on the couch like watching TV, and I could see like her room, and her door was closed, and I saw like at the bottom of the door, like as if she was like walking by the like door, like walked by it.
Yeah, the shadows.
And then like a minute later though, she comes from like behind me, but I like.
Ooh.
And I was like, did you just come from? I was like, when did you get out of your room? And she was like, I wasn't in my room.
Dun dun dun.
And I literally was like, I don't want to freak you out, but I literally saw footsteps in your room right now. I scared the shit out of her with that. But yeah, I've had some weird encounters. People say like, oh, if you're more open to it, you are like more likely to see it or experience something like that. Do you feel like that is something that is true or is?
I think so, and I think it mostly has to do with like, you know, like a spirit could probably make a connection with you easier if you believe in it.
Right. Yeah. That would make
but,
sense.
You know.
Yeah. So, how many times have you been ghost hunting? Was that?
Oh, I want to say like three or 4 times, something like that.
Did you find a ghost?
So that one time that we went at the park, I have a video. I don't know if you ever saw at the time, there was this trend with Snapchat where like you would put on a filter, like the dog filter. Yeah. And it would like latch on to certain faces and stuff like that. Right. So people would use that as like oh dang, a dog filter popped up. That must mean there's a
face. There. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So I did that at this park, and I'm like kind of recording, and I'm not getting a dog filter, but what we ended up catching was it's a clip where I'm asking like, "Hello, is anybody here? Please, make yourself known," and stuff like that. And as I'm kind of panning my camera, my friend's light hits what looks like a shadow of a human. Ooh. But at first, like it like kind of caught the corner of my eye. Yeah. So as I come back to it, you can see the shadow like disappear, like it moves away from the light.
I'd run home and be like, I'm out.
And we didn't notice that till way later though.
Oh,
like okay. I caught it out of the corner of my eye that something was there, and when I went back, I didn't see anything. Oh shit! But it was until after viewing the footage that you can like clearly make out the shape of a human there, and then it just
spooky. Okay, well that's pretty scary. Let's move on to some Halloween horror attractions, haunted mazes. Josue has already had the luxury of going to the hottest LA mazes and haunted attractions in LA because he gets a press pass. For people who don't know what that is, what is a press pass?
So me and my buddies actually run
influencers.
I mean,
yeah.
We run a small media company that we started solely because of like Halloween Horror Night and stuff like that. That's cool.
Okay.
Just because we have
the theme is spooky.
Yeah,
the theme is spooky. All right.
Yeah, it started off spooky. It still is, but now we've branched open to a lot more stuff.
They've expanded. They're growing. We love it. We love to see it.
But we've built this repertoire with Universal Studios that now they actually invite us to their red carpet events for Halloween Horror Nights. They bring in celebrities and stuff like that. And then in turn, we produce content showing off different mazes, the mazes that come the year of, and pretty much everything that they offer at the events. So it is fun because we do have the luxury of experiencing all that like firsthand.
So how much in advance are you able to see these attractions before everybody else? Like, is it like a week before they open or a day before or like?
So generally speaking, the day that we, like us and all of the other like media creators and stuff like that, we go like opening day, like the day.
Oh, the day opens. Okay.
The only way that we get special access is that, like, we get a pass that gives us like front of the line, or we have a guide. For example, we do a lot of.
Oh, like a private guide?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
So we do a lot of videos on our channel where we get footage of our reactions of going through the mazes.
That's fun.
So you can see us get scared and stuff like that.
I have watched a couple reaction videos of people walking through the Halloween Horror Halloween Horror Nights, not Fright Nights. Is it Fright Nights?
Fright Fest.
Fright Fest. Okay. And those are always funny. Obviously, the more of a like scared reaction, the more like amusing it is to watch. Because if someone's not scared, you're just kind of like, you know, or like not enough emotion. Like, I feel like you want them to be like, ah! So what is it like? Like, the guide walks in, like, before you or after you, or just tells you, like, all right, this is, like, the new maze? Like,
so, yeah, depending on, like, if I'm filming or if I'm the one being recorded, if I'm filming, we have this system where the guide essentially holds my backpack.
Okay.
And I'll just, like, turn around and be like, okay, you walk through the maze, and I'm just going to do my best to make sure my camera's in frame of my other two buddies. Uh-huh. But if you're the one getting scared, I think it's even scarier walking through it being filmed because we have a light, like a studio light.
And it kind of blinds you, right?
Exactly.
Your surroundings.
So I can't see what's going on until like somebody's jumping out at me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good time.
And then you said there was a red carpet event too. Like, who's at the red carpet? Like, what's going on there?
So, I mean, Six Flags does have a red carpet, but the majority of the time, our red carpet is for Universal Studios because they deal with more like IP related mazes,
right?
Like Halloween,
like
Friday
this year's The Weeknd, right?
Exactly.
So he was there. He showed up.
So he wasn't there at the red carpet, but later on at night, during the night, we were walking through Hogsmeade, and I just so happened to bump into The Weeknd.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Did you say see you next week? Because he's The Weeknd. I'm here all day.
It's gonna be over real soon.
Sadly, there's still 30 minutes. I'm just kidding. Okay, so was he all like covered up basically, or did you like you recognize him because like?
So he was actually wearing a mask, which shout out The Weeknd.
Do you think he
COVID compliant?
Yeah. But she was part of the Fatal Attraction crew. It'd be like The Weeknd. He's an example.
You need a job, bro?
Yeah. It is looking for new people.
But I think I noticed him mostly because, well, one, I bumped into him, but two, he was wearing like that, like.
You're like, excuse you. He's like, excuse you. And you're like, no, excuse you.
I'm like, oh my God, The Weeknd. He was wearing like this, like, bulletproof vest, or I don't know, some sort of like
in
weird...
case these monsters try to shoot me.
Exactly. and he was like surrounded by like his entourage of guys, but it
like security or
it was like 3 or 4 like really tall guys, and I'm just like, oh, these guys are threatening.
Yeah.
So like when I bumped into them, I was just like, oh, my bad.
What if he was like, let's pretend like it's for security, but it's actually because I'm fucking terrified.
Yeah, right?
Wait, okay, yeah. So this year, The Weeknd has a maze.
Yeah.
At the Universal Horror Nights.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recommend it? What do you think? Is it actually scary, or is it more of like, let's bring all the like, you know, newer generation / like maybe people that like it was it more of just like to get more people like
a gimmick?
Like maybe your usuals that wouldn't go do this, because it's like The Weeknd has a really big fan base. You know, he's very popular. He's literally like touring right now. He had a concert in LA not too long ago, which got postponed because he lost his voice. But anyway, off topic. But do you feel like it brought in people just because of The Weeknd, or was it like actually meant to be like scary and like it adds to the
I think it's a bit of both.
Oh, okay.
There's definitely the main goals of the all the event is to bring people in to spend your money.
Yeah.
But behind that, like
Spending all my money. I don't know. Like I was like, I have to sing it.
The creative team behind Halloween Horror Nights, they really do care about like what they make and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I've had the opportunity to talk to these people before, and
right. Okay.
I know that like they understand that like obviously this is a job, and it's to bring in money, but they want to provide this terrifying experience for the guests.
Right. And how do you make it better than the last year?
Exactly.
Because every year's like something stands out about it. And it's like, we live in LA, like where everyone's like on to the next, like,
right.
I want something bigger and better this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so how, like, do you feel like it, like, did it top it, or was it like just as good as like last year? So
I think I speak for myself and my team and for a lot of content creators, especially Horror Nights people. Yeah. This year definitely has been a way better year than previous years have been. And it feels like probably like a really good year would have been like 2014 or 2013.
Oh, really?
And it's been a while where people were starting to notice stuff like they were either cutting budgets here or there or something. Oh shit, really? Something happens and you're just like, oh man.
Like, you see that prosthetic? It was cheap. Holy shit. Okay, so people know. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. If you're like I haven't gone every year, so like I personally probably wouldn't notice like every little detail like that. Like, also like it's dark, and I usually go and have a drink. So I'm like, because I think it helps with the fear of like
for sure
getting scared. Because when I was a kid, they had a permanent haunted house. Do you remember that?
House of Horrors?
Yes, I went on that. That was honestly so fucking scary to me. Like, I still remember. Like, I remember I used to hate that one. That was like the one ride at Universal. I was like, I don't want to go on it, and then they got rid of it. And then I was like, but also like kind of sad because I was like, oh, I never got to experience it as like an adult, like. And then now they do the Halloween Horror Nights, which is fun and cool, but it's it's only for like a month or two.
Yeah. And
are all the haunted mazes like Universal scary movies that they're doing, or is it
no?
Okay.
No, they definitely brand Universal Studios is the only event that you will find IP related mazes like Scream, Friday the 13th, all these like iconic monsters, because like Michael Myers is technically Universal, but like trying to think of one. Oh, Stranger Things. Yeah. Stranger Things is a Netflix show. Yeah. But they partnered with Universal 2 years ago to bring Stranger Things to the event.
Oh, okay. So you think they partnered with how much do you think the Weeknd is getting for like the maze? Do you think it works like that?
Probably a good amount of money. Probably a good chunk of change. And I know like he works with like the Universal creative team to get all of this like done. I definitely really like that maze in particular. I think.
Can you explain, like, without giving away too much for people who are going to go do it themselves?
Yeah.
What, like, I guess what stood out to you and like what is it really about? Because when I think of like the Weeknd and a haunted maze, I think of like maybe his like Blinding Lights music video or something. Okay. Like I don't really know what to like maybe him with the bandage, because that was kind of creepy.
Yeah. So and this is where I think the Universal team definitely like stands out, because they really like, I don't know, they got some sick twisted minds, because they come up with some really cool stuff based off of like the song lyrics, the imagery, and a lot of different things. And with the Weeknd himself, they all talk back and forth, and they produce this maze. But so the Weeknd maze it's called the Weeknd's After Hours Nightmare. I think it's based off the songs off of the After Hours album.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have like Blinding Lights.
Okay. Does that mean like it's like strobe lighty in there?
Yeah, actually, it's
like it's hard to see.
So the maze actually goes through like you're going into the Weeknd's mind, and it's just kind of like all twisted and demented in there.
It's all fucked up in there.
Exactly, yeah.
And what's chasing you though? Or like what's actually like doing the horror like jumps or like
So in that maze, a lot of the times it's either like these chicks who are obsessed with The Weeknd.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Like,
That's interesting. Didn't see that one coming. Okay.
But a lot of the times it's like The Weeknd or like his mangled up other version of The Weeknd's. There's like a toad or frog Weeknd in there. Yeah, it's
okay.
It's weird, but it's really cool. I feel like
it's something you have to like see for yourself.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, I mean, it sounds cool and interesting, but I'm like, I'm trying to imagine. I'm like Toad and The Weeknd, and then like girls chasing you. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, cool. Okay. So would you say that one's the top?
Ooh, for this year?
Out of all the mazes in Universal. Be honest. I don't like.
You know what? I really do like that maze, but they have another maze called Scarecrow, the Reaping.
Okay.
That maze, I think, is my favorite maze this year. But probably right under that would be The Weeknd. It's a really strong maze. Okay. And if you're into The Weeknd and like spooky stuff, like it's definitely the right hit. And
how much is it? Like 100? Is it $100 there?
Ooh, wow.
Oh, wait a minute. He gets the press pass. He doesn't have to pay. Us normal people.
I think it depends on the day that you go.
That makes sense. I know if it's like on a like Saturday, it's more expensive. I think.
And in September, it was cheaper.
So yeah, okay. I'm like, ugh. I know because I haven't done a haunted maze yet. Like this year, I haven't done anything spooky this year, and I feel like something ain't right. Today's actually the first day. It felt gloomy. It was raining. It didn't feel like 95 degrees outside.
Facts, which fits for this podcast.
I know. And we both like,
hey, flannel
we didn't
gang.
plan this. We didn't plan this, but I guess we knew. We're like, we see a cloud. We're like, bust out the flannel.
The spooky season.
Yeah, exactly.
Southern Californians be like.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so after that, let's name the top three. So you would say Universal is the top number one, right? Out of all
of horror.
them? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I would. I don't know, man.
That was a hesitation.
Yeah.
If there's another one out there, let us know because everyone knows Universal.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you have the big three, which would be Universal Studios, and then you have Knott's Berry Farm, which would be Knott's Scary Farm.
Yeah.
And then you have Fright Fest, which is Six Flags.
Got it.
I think those are the big three in terms of like popularity. We unfortunately lost a really good event last year called Queen Mary's Dark Harbor.
Wait, they're not doing that?
They're not doing
Sorry. Okay. Because I was interested in doing that. I love the Queen Mary. I've actually had a ghost experience on the Queen Mary.
Ooh.
When I did the tour there, we went through the oil room and I had a oil stain on my pants shaped like a finger.
Whoa.
And it wouldn't rub off. I kept trying to like rub it off and I was like, Nick, I was like, holy shit, do you see this? He saw it. So I wasn't the only one that saw it. I'm not crazy. And then by the end of the day, it was completely gone. No like trace left behind. And when I tell you, I was like trying to rub, it was like stained on there and then it was just like magically gone. So I don't know. I think that's for sure a ghost. And a lot of people had died on that ship because it was used as like a hospital, especially during like the war and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's possible. It's possible.
That's fact, yeah.
I mean, I guess I was open to it. But wait, how? Why did they cancel it?
So the Queen Mary
decided she's done. Decided she ain't down for this shit.
Kind of.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So she's an old ship, like Priscilla said. She was used during the war as a war vessel and as a hospital vessel. So I believe the city of Long Beach needed to sink in about 22 million or something, some ridiculous number to get all the repairs fixed for the Queen Mary.
Oh, from the damages of the mazes?
No, not the mazes, just wear and tear itself.
Oh,
like it's expensive to have the Queen Mary docked where it's at.
Apparently, yeah.
So for a minute there,
I doubt they were making that much money, especially during COVID, because are people really staying there when they're like? Are people actually staying in the hotel? Like it's
it's still an active hotel, and whenever I go visit, there's a couple people there, but I don't know if they like people stay there enough to make up the revenue that they need.
exactly. That's what I'm really wondering. But you would think that they would maybe make up some revenue with the haunted mazes, but I also can see them being like, well, this is like almost like an antique item. Like, why are we letting attractions we build here and like the possibility of it like falling apart, like things being damaged? Maybe.
I mean, you can say that, sure, but it's also like a functioning hotel, so it's like,
true,
you know,
true. Like it could get damaged by the freaking people
right
staying there. Okay,
but yeah, so like you said, COVID definitely messed up a lot of stuff. Yeah. The original owner of the Queen Mary sold the Queen Mary during COVID because they couldn't cover the cost. I think that's when the city bought it out, and then the city was deciding to sink the Queen Mary because it was so expensive to fix it. But I think now they've decided to keep it because it's like a staple of Long Beach.
Yeah, it really is. I feel like it's weird if they got rid of it.
Yeah.
But I also get it. Like, it's expensive. She ain't cheap. For
sure.
But what girl is, right? And she's a queen, so.
Facts.
You know. Okay.
All women are queens.
He knows what's up. I can't believe that they're closing it, though. I am sad because I really did enjoy that maze a lot. Like, all the mazes. There was, like, multiple. And it was cool because they actually utilized the ship. Like, you can... It's mazes in the actual ship, not, like, the courtyard of the ship. Like, they had, like, some, like, in the parking lot or, like, near it or in front of it. But you can also do some inside of it, which is really cool. For sure. But that's a bummer. I'm sad that that's not going to happen anymore. But... I guess it gives opportunity for another scary maze to come up.
Yeah. I mean, there's already somebody that took over.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what is it now?
Shaquille O'Neal, baby.
Oh, that's what that is? Yeah. Okay, yeah. I've been seeing people talk about, well, I saw it on social media and then, like, I've heard people talking about it. So what is it? Obviously, it has something to do with Shaq, but, like, what is it? So
Shaq partnered with this haunt community thing. I don't really know how to describe them. They're called 13th Floor.
Okay.
And they actually like host a lot of like different events. I guess you would call them like an event coordinator, but specifically like horror events.
Right.
So Shaq partnered with them, and they're now producing this event called Shaqtoberfest.
Oh, okay. I know it's kind of lame, but I heard it on the radio. Yes, sometimes I listen to the radio. When I'm like running late. The radio. Yeah, I know. People always give me shit. They're like, you listen to the radio? And I'm like, well, like sometimes I'm just like too lazy to pick a song on like Spotify. Yeah. So I just keep the radio on. And I do like hear stuff that I'd like, you know, I'm like, oh shit, like, did you know this and like so and so happened? Facts. Like, you know,
90% of my knowledge comes from the radio.
Radio. Okay, so have you heard anything about it? Like, are you gonna go, you think?
I might. I haven't made like the what do you call it? The initiative to go.
Right.
But I would like to. I've heard from a lot of my friends that have gone already.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good time. It's
okay.
I don't think they have mazes, but it's like scare zones. And for those people who have kids and stuff like that, from the beginning of the from the beginning of the event, I believe it starts at like noon till about like 6:00. It's a family friendly event. So like cute. You can bring your kids.
Yeah.
They can go trick-or-treating and stuff like that. And obviously for the parents, there's alcohol, there's snacks, there's all these like live shows and stuff like that. After 6, though, it becomes like a more horror themed.
Oh, after 6. All the spooky stuff happens.
Exactly. All of Shaq's minions come out.
Minions. I love it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so maybe that's something I could still check out. And you said it's right by the Queen Mary, like in front of it?
Yeah, it's like right where Dark Harbor used to be.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll check it out if it's a reasonable price.
Yeah. The only thing that they don't do is they don't go into the ship anymore, which sucks.
That does kind of.
Because it was really scary.
It kind of takes away. Yeah, because you already know like the ship is haunted. And then on top of that, they do the haunted mazes. So you're like double spooky.
Yeah, it's especially there's some good. I've had some good memories in that ship, like during those events, because it's like some of the mazes they like to build on the fact that the Queen Mary is haunted. So like there'll just be an empty hallway that you have to walk down with no lights on, and you're just like, this place is haunted. That's
creepy. Yeah, I remember that. No, it freaked me out. I was like, holy shit, I can't see anything. And I think sometimes your mind imagines worse things and it like maybe is actually there, you know what I mean? So you're like, oh my god, like there's going to be something crazy at the end of the hallway, and then it's just like nothing. But yeah, that's going to be a bummer that it's gone, but at least the show goes on, I guess. You could
For
say.
sure, yeah. The shack goes on.
Nice. The shack goes on. So since we're talking about scary things, I want to know what your favorite scary movie is.
Ooh, wow. That's
oh my God, I realized I need to decorate. I have no Halloween decorations on. Like, what kind of Halloween host am I?
Tears.
Tears.
My favorite scary movie, I think, it's very subjective. Because I'm one of those persons that like horror movie is a big genre that you have to capitalize all these like slashers and found footage and stuff like that. But I think the easiest answer I can say is I really enjoy the Friday the 13th.
Okay.
It's probably one of my favorite slasher movies.
I remember when we met on American Gigolo, you had shoes.
Yeah.
That had the Friday the 13th slasher guy on it. It said Friday the 13th.
Shout out Vans.
And I was like, oh yeah, it was Vans. I was like,
Jason
cool
Voorhees,
shoes.
man.
Yeah. Okay, so that is your, like, why? Because it's like, just like an OG slasher movie, or like what specifically does it for you? Like, what is it, you know, like what is it for you?
I think the whole idea of like, you know, in the first Friday the 13th, it's not, you know, like this like mystical this or that.
Right.
When you like break it down to the roots, the original Friday the 13th is about a mom getting revenge on all these kids that let her son die.
I mean, that's actually a good storyline. Honestly, I didn't realize that was the log line. Yeah. Because I haven't seen it in so long. Mm-hmm. I was like a kid when I watched it.
Yeah.
So
Spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen
like,
the original Friday the 13th. Jason Voorhees is not the killer. It's his mom. Dun, dun. But he's at the end. And then everything else builds upon that very first structure of Jason's mom looking out for Jason. And then the rest of the movies that came out were Jason killing for his mom. You know, it all goes vice versa.
It all goes killing for your mom. I'm just kidding. That is wild. Okay, Friday the 13th. I would say that's a good choice. What would you say is like a scary movie that is super popular but super overrated?
Ooh. There's a lot of those.
I know. No, honestly, okay, this is like the one thing. So I definitely love horror movies. Like, it's funny because I used to be terrified of them when I was a kid. I was like, it would actually like spook me. I was like, oh fuck, like I'm scared to like, you know, go pee without the light on, like in the hallway or something. But now I love it. I'm like putting on real life like murder documentaries because I don't know. I'm like, oh, this is peaceful apparently. But my one problem with these scary movies is that it just seems like they're trying to do a lot of jump scares and there's no story. And I'm like, especially since we're like trying to be in the film industry, we're working, we're doing all these different things. Like it kind of, for me, it doesn't do it when it's just jump scares. You know what I mean? Because we see the behind the scenes. We know what it looks like. So I don't know. I feel like I need a story there for it to like hook me and like get me. I feel like I've wasted a lot of time watching scary movies where I'm like, okay, you guys like literally just had like 3 good jump scares and that was it. You know, it's like how many times has the family bought a new house that had like, you know what I mean? It's like how many times we're going to see that storyline.
And I think that's
what's funny is I was in a scary movie that had that storyline.
Oh yeah.
Since it's spooky season, I guess I'll tell you guys. I mean, anyone who knows me or like has, I don't know, I guess kind of stalked my my IMDb, you'll see how, but I did a.
You said I'm the spooky person. You're the one in the actual horror movie.
I got stabbed in the throat. Spoiler alert, but maybe that will get you to watch it. I don't know. It's a scary movie. It's a remake on the original Amityville Horror. It's called Amityville Terror. It's on Amazon. I actually play one of the mean girls. And
the Mean Girls? Do you play Lizzie Captain?
I'm just kidding. One of the mean girls named Claire. Okay, Claire with a C. I don't know if there's any other way to spell it, but
Claire with a K.
No, that's not, that's kind of weird.
Claire.
So yeah, if you want to see me get stabbed in the throat, check it out. But yeah, where was I even going with this? Oh yeah, like another scary movie where they buy the house. The family buys the house. There's a new girl. She starts school. Everyone's meeting the new girl, and then of course she gets stabbed. Like we've seen it.
Yeah, I definitely like. I like when directors and they take different things and they're just like, you know what, we're gonna push the limits. somebody I definitely recommend Ari Aster and all his A24 movies. So like Midsommar, Hereditary.
Yeah. Oh, that was fucking crazy.
He has, what's his most recent one?
The head rolling off. That's all I'm gonna say. Hereditary. You'll know when you see the head roll off.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
you don't know when it's gonna come, but you know.
Yeah, his movies I think have been so different. Along with him, Jordan Peele.
I was gonna say, how do you like the like mental games or like the more like it's scary because it's like real life situations or like people's like I don't know, like I feel like what's certain scary movies are really scary when they incorporate like mental health stuff, like oh this person's like split personality, you know what I mean, or like he doesn't remember murdering when he's like this person, but then like at this time he like turned like you know what I mean, like that freaks me out because like there's people out there that actually have that, or like you know like maybe it's schizophrenia but it's like super like intense or like they have it really severe, so it makes that like they hear voices and it makes them like want to kill someone, like I don't know, like that shit freaks me out. I'm like I don't like that's too real.
I mean they say that like I think there's a saying out there that says like good horror is like stemmed from like
fears,
like fear, trauma, and like all this like psychological. Like you can connect all these horror movies back to like either some sort of like social issue or something like that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's true because have you seen The Black Phone?
I haven't.
With Ethan Hawke. Okay, so not to go into too much, but I watched it. Like I thought it had a creepy like. I like the idea of the film, like the storyline, but I think they could have done a little bit more with it. Like the ending, I talk about it on like one of the other episodes. But my mom, when I talked to her about it, she was like, it seemed like it scared her more because it reminded her of her childhood because it's set in like the 70s, like 70s, 80s, I think. And she was just like, yeah, back then, like there was no security cameras. So you could get away with like kidnapping like kids like way easier. And it was like, you would see all the time people were getting kidnapped and it would just be like a little like flyer. Like it wasn't like an Amber Alert, like, you know what I mean? And then
on your face on a milk carton.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, so like for her, it like almost like triggered a PTSD or memory or whatever. Right. And like, I was like, oh, that's like creepy. Because like I've had the fear of like, oh, getting kidnapped would be really scary. But like I don't live my life in fear like that. I've also prepared for that. I carry a taser. I'm like, I've had too many crazy things happen. I'm like, trauma comes out. Welcome to therapy. Welcome to the R-rated therapy. That sounded bad. But yeah, so what new scary movies are you looking forward to seeing that are coming out? Are there any coming out?
Yeah, there's a bunch. It's actually a good year for horror.
Ooh, okay.
I definitely want to check out Smile. I've been hearing good things about Smile.
Did you see the promo for that?
Dude.
That was some good shit. Okay, for anyone who hasn't seen it, you wanna take it away?
I mean, yeah, so they sent a bunch of people to like these like sporting events and they put them like right behind like baseball and stuff like that. So they'll put them right behind like center plate and they'll just like smile into the camera. Like, and then they're wearing like a Smile t-shirt on and stuff like that.
That's so creepy. And like in the picture, in the photos, there's like other people that are just watching the game. They're like, you know, like freaked out. They're like, what is going on? Which, think about it. If you just saw some random person in the stands, like just smiling at you, you'd be like, something's wrong with them. Like, what's happening? I'm scared. Did the movie get good reviews? Do you know?
I'm hearing positive reviews from it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously there's always going to be some negativity for anything.
Right. I actually heard some negative reviews about how it was more, they didn't answer like why the people end up smiling. Yeah. Like it's supposed to be like some demon related stuff. Like it possesses you and it makes you smile or something.
Interesting.
But they don't clarify why that happens or where this demon came from. And see, for me, that's another thing that lacks. Like, I want to know why. I'm the fucking weirdo that wants to know why. Like, why are they smiling? Why did the demon choose to like make that the like scary thing that they're gonna do, or like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
I don't know. That's just me. They're like, we're not writing for you. It's not made for you. Another like interesting topic, well, I think very popular thing with horror films is exorcisms. Do you feel like that is overdone?
Ooh. You know what? No, I feel like I haven't seen a good exorcism movie in a bit.
Yeah.
Granted, I probably haven't been looking too hard. They're probably out there.
Right.
I mean, I think like the top 3, like The Exorcist, the first one.
Yeah.
The Exorcism of Emily Rose is another good one.
Yeah.
And then, there's a movie called VHS. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I think I've actually heard of it.
It's like a compendium of like different short horror films.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
They're really good. If you guys get a chance, and if make some popcorn, find VHS. There's like 4 of them now. They're so good.
Okay, cool.
Recommend.
Yeah, check it out. I would say another one I recommend is Creeper. It's like it's I think it's on maybe Netflix. I don't know, but it's about this like a guy who's like he's like a videographer. He goes on Craigslist, sees an ad saying like, I want a guy with a camera, like a videographer, to come to my place and like help me film me for the day. It was like a gift to his son. Obviously, the guy goes because he doesn't have that much money, needs a gig, and work is work.
Don't we all?
And yeah, next thing you know, obviously the guy is a weirdo. He lives in the middle of nowhere in the woods, and things just go downhill from there. But I actually really liked it. Like, it kind of like, I feel like it didn't get that much hype, but it's actually really good. It's actually well made. It's a cool concept. It freaked me out because I'm like, I could fall for something like that. So,
for sure.
But after watching that movie, I was like, I will not fall for something like that. So that's another cool thing. Like, movies, especially like thriller movies, kind of like give you a little insight of like, okay, like this could happen. Like, don't run towards the scary noise in the basement. You know what I mean? Like, maybe run the opposite way.
That's what I feel about The Purge. When those first movies came out, I was like, this could really happen.
No, I still think that could happen. Let's hope it doesn't. But like, it could happen.
Yeah.
Just to end before we end the episode, I know we're talking about exorcism, and I just watched This Is the End, like literally a couple days ago. And you know how there's a part where Jonah Hill is like, and they do the
Exorcism of Jonah Hill.
The Exorcism of Jonah Hill, and he's like, and he just looked like so funny. I know, like, it's not scary, but Jonah Hill, you're hilarious, and I really enjoyed your exorcism.
It's a good one.
But yeah, do you want to say anything spooky before we leave off? I know that's kind of random, but like, is there anything you want to share with us?
I mean, if you're interested in more like theme park horror stuff or theme park stuff in general, check me and my buddies out. We're at TLAV Media on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter.
Ooh,
TLAV Media across the board.
Yeah, check it out, especially this freaking spooky season.
Facts. Go watch all your horror movies because we can't let horror die.
Do you think it's dying?
No.
Okay, good.
Hell no. But it should never. It should
never. Yeah, I think it's actually one of the most watched genres is comedy and horror. People like to laugh and
watch
people
horror
like to be
movies.
scared.
Drink coffee all day.
Also, if you're looking for spooky snacks.
If you live in the San Fernando Valley area, hit us up on the Spooky Snacks on Instagram.
Him and his fiance bake the spookiest stuff.
Snacks.
I just put in my order for cupcakes, so
they're gonna
be like me. Coffin brownies are the shit. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to bring me some, but no, he forgot. It's fine.
You gonna put me on blast like that? Damn.
All right, I'm gonna see you at work on Monday, but thanks for coming and recording. No, seriously, thanks for coming on the podcast. We literally spend like 75 hours together at work, so what's another hour, right? That's what I said. But yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you want to throw out your Instagram so people can follow you, and yeah,
Young Protostar on Instagram.
Awesome. See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.